Yo guys, how are you doing? And today what I'm gonna do is discuss the design of this Teq Gogeta versus STR Vegito. And as you guys know, Teq Gogeta came out almost 1 year after the release of STR Vegito. So with that in mind, considering these two are counterparts to one another, right? So their main goal was to make these two similar to each other, power-wise, right? So that was their main objective. So what I'm gonna discuss is did they succeed in doing that? Yeah. So how I'm gonna evaluate this is from two sides of the argument. From 55% both of these units versus both of these units with dupes, right? So it's actually different, these two arguments, with dupes and without dupes. So what I mean by that is, so at 55%, Teq Gogeta is his base form is just straight up better. Why I say that is, you see these stats: 18,000 attack and 11,000 defense versus Vegito's similar attack stat but lower defense, almost 2,000, more than 2,000 less defense Vegito has. So, and their passives are similar, except Gogeta just has different key passive. He gets extra key with Rainbow Orb. Meanwhile, Vegito gets key per type key sphere. So you could argue that maybe Vegito's key passive is better, but then I would say that it doesn't matter. So the factor that differentiates the base form of Teq Gogeta versus STR Vegito is, I think, that this medium chance of where was it? High chance of randomly changing key spheres. So this just combined with the higher stats and this Rainbow Orb changing just makes Teq Gogeta's base form just better than STR Vegito, in my opinion. Their link set is exactly the same, right? Yeah, exactly the same link set. Same warrior race, same warrior 6.5 fighters, same lineage, strongest speed when you first battle, yeah. So now at 55%, his transformation condition is definitely a nuisance, right? It's hard to get, but you can always just use an item whenever you want to transform. So I don't think that's that big of a deal when comparing these two units, because in difficult events you would want to use an item anyways, right? So now the real argument, Super Gogeta versus Super Vegito. So at 55%, right, I think they're at least equal to one another. Now why I say that is because at 55%, Gogeta is more often than not gonna do equal damage to Vegito, because Gogeta has a 70% chance to crit, and he is also gonna be super effective against all types all the way through. Meanwhile, Vegito, he has a medium chance to crit, 30% chance from his passive, and also 5% from his hidden potential, which is calculated separate, which is proc separately, which works similarly to the LR Gohan and Krillin, who have a 2 procs of medium chance to dodge. And then at 55%, Vegito definitely has a higher potential to do damage than Gogeta, because if Vegito crits on his counters, Vegito is definitely going to be doing more damage, but at 55%, that is less often to occur, because he only has a 37% chance to crit. And then let's say he gets like 3 counters in a turn after super attacking. So if only one of them crit, then Gogeta is more likely doing more damage than Vegito, or equal damage to him. So yeah. Then on top of that, Gogeta is also more tanky than Vegito, because Gogeta has 30% damage reduction. Meanwhile, Vegito only has 150% defense in his passive. and that's it. So at 55%, Vegito takes 100k per normal, type neutral in the God event. Meanwhile, Gogeta is probably gonna take like 40k at 55%, which is really good type neutral. I mean, I take that bet. It's not really that good, but it's doable, I guess. So then, considering that at 55%, Gogeta is gonna be more tanky than Vegito, and also more often than not gonna do equal damage to Vegito, then I would say Gogeta is close to Vegito or better than him in certain cases. Now Vegito definitely has a higher potential to do more damage than Gogeta, but then the Gogeta's tankiness I think outweighs the damage potential of Vegito at 55% in difficult events, that is. So the other thing I wanted to talk about was the turn limits on Gogeta's passive. For some reason Gogeta has 5 turns for his damage reduction and also for saying super attack ability, which is just an unnecessary shaft. I don't know why it's 5 turns considering Vegito has 10 turns. Now this isn't really that big of a deal in like the God event, because you're not gonna go 10 turns after transforming with them, but this is a factor in like the legendary Vegeta event, where you need the 10 turns to make it all the way through the final phases of the Vegeta legendary event, right? So that's the difference between their passives and why Gogeta only has 5 turns. So I guess that's one thing they could have buffed Gogeta in one department to make him close to Vegito. Okay. And then I wanted to talk about their leader skills. It's weird that Gogeta is not on Vegito's leader skill, and also Vegito is not on Gogeta's leader skill for some reason. They should have changed Gogeta's leader skill to something different, which would also include Vegito on it. Like maybe rephrase this to something else. And also Gogeta should have been a movie heroes leader. For some reason they didn't make him a movie heroes leader after buffing movie heroes multiple times. So yeah. Now, so that's 55%, right? Now when we get to 100, with dupes, that's a completely different argument. It's night and day. With dupes, right, Vegito is like 10 times better than Gogeta. Vegito is doing 4 times more damage than Gogeta, and also with dupes Vegito can hold his own type advantage in the God event, because after super attacking he will raise defense, and with 11,600 defense he should be at least surviving in the God event, right? Type advantage. Meanwhile Gogeta is definitely going to be still tanking better than Vegito, but Gogeta is not doing as much damage as Vegito. So yeah, that's one thing. That's one thing you want to keep in mind. With dupes, if you already have Vegito with dupes, then Vegito is just better than Gogeta. So yeah. So I guess that's all. I've addressed all the differences between Gogeta and Vegito from 2 arguments, 55% also with dupes. I'm not really discussing why one is better than the other, or why Vegito is better than Gogeta or Gogeta is better than Vegito. I'm just discussing why Gogeta's design should have been better, so that he could be closer to Vegito, since Gogeta came 1 year later and their objective was to make these units similar. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I hope you guys don't argue why keep arguing about the war between Vegito versus Gogeta. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching.